Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. In today's video, we're going to take another look at some of my minor league baseball card collection from my teenage years. I've added some cards, as I mentioned previously, since then. But a lot of these came from team sets back in the late 70s, 80s, and early 90s. So I pulled out only the stars. There's a few scattered Hall of Famers, but primarily star players from that time frame. So there's no commons or guys you would have not heard of. So the first one we're going to look at today is Glenallen Hill. Glenallen Hill was a top prospect working his way through the system with the Toronto Blue Jays during the mid 1980s. He was the power speed type of guy that I loved to follow during that time period, similar to Eric Davis and Barry Bonds. Unfortunately, in the minors, he struck out a lot and kept his batting average down. So his prospect status was always sort of a little bit questionable. Definitely had a lot of power, but how to figure out how to hit major league pitching. So he had sort of an up and down career. His peak years came in the mid 90s with the San Francisco Giants after he had moved on from Toronto. After that, he played with Cleveland and a couple of other clubs. But Hill did put up a couple, one season, 25 homers, 25 steals, and then another year where he did almost 2020. So he had a few nice seasons. Did not become a huge star, but top hitter, then the stolen base threat, Glenallen Hill. Next one I'm going to show here is a pretty scarce one. This was a team issue from the Memphis Chicks. This is actually Bo Jackson. This was put out in 1986, the year he played in the Southern League and the Kansas City Royals minor league system for Memphis. There's two versions of this. There's a gold version, which is this card, and there's also a silver version, which I'm going to show you next. They're both the identical image, just the border surrounding it is different color. The back of the card has a nice bio on Bo and stats from his 3 previous years at Auburn before he was drafted by the Kansas City Royals in Major League Baseball. Of course, Bo was even more so better known for becoming an NFL star running back for the Oakland/Los Angeles Raiders in the late 80s and early 90s, and was probably, at least in our generation, the greatest two-sport athlete ever. Unfortunately, he got injured in a football game and a serious injury to his hip, and that kind of derailed his career after that. That happened around 1992, I believe. So Bo Jackson, another big power speed guy, similar to the last couple I mentioned, and one of the all-time great talents in professional sports. This is the silver edition version that I mentioned. Everything the same, other than it's got the silver border instead of the gold borders. I believe the gold is the more valuable, tougher to find one. Next up, we have a future Baseball Hall of Famer here. This is Chipper Jones. Here he's pictured with the Macon Braves as a shortstop. And this is a 1991 card put out by Classic Best. The early 90s, Classic Best was the leading manufacturer of the minor league team sets. They had taken over that role from Pro Cards and formerly, before that, TCMA. So Chipper Jones, of course, great switch hitter, primarily played third base in the major leagues for the Braves, would go on to a Hall of Fame career. But his first official minor league team set issue, 1991 Classic Macon Braves. Here we've got another 1991. This one was put out by Pro Cards, as I previously mentioned, another team set card. This one features Chipper in his Macon Braves uniform as well. And these typically have local advertising on the back from different companies. that put up the funds to cover the cost of printing for these team sets, along with the previous year stats for Chipper Jones on the back. Next up, we have an interesting one. This is, of course, Michael Jordan. This was his one season minor league baseball in 1994. He tried to make a go of it with the Chicago White Sox minor league team in Birmingham in Double-A. So this is an upper deck minor league card of Jordan from 1994 from that season. And as everyone knows, the minor league career, the baseball career, didn't go nearly as well as the NBA, and he would go on to return to NBA stardom the following year after that. Okay, next up we have Wally Joyner. This is a 1985 Pacific Coast League issue put out by Kramer. Kramer was a card producer out on the West Coast. They put out a few different years, primarily all PCL team set issues. This is the Wally Joyner card from Edmonton, where he played at with the California Angels AAA club at the minor league level. This would have been the year before he came up to the majors with the Angels in 1986. It was a Rookie of the Year candidate the same year as Jose Canseco came up to the Oakland A's. So Joyner was an excellent hitter, decent power, good average, and excellent fielder, and was a good star first baseman for several years. His career didn't go as long as one might have hoped. But throughout the 80s, late 80s into the early 90s, Joyner was an excellent ball player. Next up, we have Dave Justice. This is a 1988 Pro Cards. Justice would play for the Atlanta Braves. He was a star outfielder on the Braves teams that went to the playoffs every year, starting in, I believe it was 1991, throughout the 90s. Justice played right field. Here he's pictured with Richmond, which was the Braves' AAA minor league team. And he's in the Pro Cards issue, team set issue here. Again, you'll see on the back another local advertiser, Sanderson, from the Richmond area. Next up is an interesting one. This one is actually not a minor league team set issue. This is a classic. Four Sport was the name of the set. It was put out in 1990. 1991. It was put out by Classic, which is based out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, pretty close to where I used to live. So these came in wax packs, and they had cards mixed of football, basketball, baseball, and hockey stars, primarily college. There might have been some high school stars in there as well. So these were all amateurs prior to getting drafted by the various sports and the various teams. Mike Kelly was a Golden Spikes Award winner as the top collegiate baseball player in the country the year he got drafted. He was out of Arizona State, which was my favorite college program. And this one, as you can see, it's autographed, and it's also numbered on the side here, which means this was a pack pulled autograph. It wasn't just signed by Kelly at a minor league game or something. So this card came out of a pack at the time. This was a fairly high value card. Today it's not. Kelly played a few years with the Braves, quite briefly during the mid '90s, and he just couldn't solve the major league pitching. Struck out too much. Had tremendous power speed numbers at Arizona State. Again, another ball player that fit into the mold I really liked. And I was really rooting for him to become an MLB superstar. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. But still, a great college player and nice autograph from his award-winning days in college. We have one more Mike Kelly. This one is actually from 1989. So this would have been his second year at Arizona State. He was a sophomore, and he was already a national star at that point. Barry Bonds played at Arizona State just before Kelly. And Bonds, of course, was a five-tool guy as well. So Kelly was kind of following in his footsteps, and the comparisons were going to happen. And unfortunately, he couldn't live up to that. But um, excellent player in college. Next up, we have John Kruk. This one is a 1983 TCMA. He's pictured with Beaumont. He came up in the San Diego Padres minor league organization and would later go on to star for the Phillies 1993 World Series team that unfortunately Joe Carter from the Toronto Blue Jays hit a series-winning home run off of Mitch Williams, and the Phillies did not emerge victorious. But John Kruk was an outstanding hitter for his entire major league career. You can count on him to hit close to 300 almost every season. Had somewhat limited power, but good run production, RBIs, and top hitter in MLB. Next up, we've got another five-tool player, Ray Lankford. Lankford came through the St. Louis Cardinals minor league system. This card is a 1990 Pro Cards issue. He appears in his Louisville Redbirds uniform there. This was the AAA Cardinals ball club. This would be his last minor league stint before coming up to the Cardinals. And Lankford had a very good major league career as an outfielder for the Cardinals, primarily during the 1990s. He was another guy that most seasons would hit close to 20 homers, steal 20 or more bases. Excellent defensive outfielder. Not the highest average hitter, but great all-around player throughout the 90s for the Cardinals. Okay, here we have a 1990 Pro Cards. Another one. This one was issued out of Wax Packs. So another Ray Lankford, also Louisville. And here we have Lankford's earlier minor league card. This is with the Springfield Cardinals Club. This was single A ball, 1988. And this was put out by Best, also in conjunction with Classic. Again, Ray Lankford. Next up, we have one that's not a minor league card. This is actually a Venezuelan league card from 1977. And this is eventual batting titleist in the American League, Carney Lansford. So this pictures him with the Leones Ball Club. Again, 1977. His Topps rookie card for Major League Baseball is 79. So this was 2 years earlier than that. A pre-rookie, but not a minor league card, a Venezuelan card. And here we actually have Lansford's earliest ever professional baseball card. This is 1975 Quad City, which was the Angels' minor league system, single A ball. So this would have been earlier than his Venezuelan league stint where the previous card was issued. Next one we have up here is a future Hall of Fame candidate. Many believe should get into the Hall of Fame one day at some point is Kenny Lofton. Lofton was a speedy center fielder, came up in the Houston Astros minor league system, would go on to his greatest fame with the Cleveland Indians. Later on would play for the Braves later in his career. Tremendous base stealer, stole over 50 bases multiple times. Fantastic defensive outfielder. Batted close to 300 for his career. Did not really have any power, but a excellent ball player, center fielder. And this is picturing him in his Auburn uniform. And this is a 1988 Pro Cards team issue for the Auburn Astros Club, which was single A. This one was sponsored on the back, as you can see, by Domino's Pizza. Next up, we've got a few interesting cards. This is another Hall of Famer. So we've got Pedro Martinez, way before his Boston Red Sox championship winning days. Martinez came up in the Los Angeles Dodger farm system. He was actually the younger brother of Ramon Martinez, who was a right-handed star pitcher in the Dodgers minor league system. Came up to the majors in 1989, and Ramon had a few pretty good seasons with the Dodgers as a starting pitcher in the majors. Pedro was a little slow to develop, would move on to Montreal, where he would really start to become the superstar starting pitcher that he would ultimately become with the Boston Red Sox. But here pictured in 1990 Pro Cards with the San Antonio Missions, an early minor league card for Pedro. Here we have an even earlier one. This is also from 1990. This is a team issue put out by Sport Pro, and this was the Great Falls Dodgers, which was a single A club. This was before he would move up to San Antonio, which was the double A team that I just showed you. So this Pedro is like I said, 1990 Great Falls Dodgers, put out by a local Spokane, Washington business called Sport Pro. And here we have a 1991 Bakersfield. So this was a California League card of Martinez with the Bakersfield Dodgers. Again, 1991, late in the season, he would come up to the Dodgers for his first Major League Baseball stint before he would stick with the club in 1992. Next, we have a Olympic card. This is Tino Martinez with Team USA. Team USA had a couple of different versions of this set produced in 1988. One of them was also reprinted again in 1990. This set most famously included Frank Thomas a couple of years before his MLB rookie card. Tino Martinez would appear in the 1988 Topps Traded set as an Olympian, so he still was not in professional baseball as of that point. So 1988 U.S. Olympic team, Tino Martinez would have his greatest fame as the first baseman for the World Series champion New York Yankee clubs during the late 90s. Next up is one of everyone's future Hall of Fame candidates, Don Mattingly. So Mattingly, stars first baseman for the New York Yankees. Came up to the majors in 1984. Was Topps rookie, Donruss and Fleer as well. This one is a 1982 Columbus Clippers minor league issue. This was put out by TCMA, who was the leading manufacturer at that time, and pictures him, like I said, in his Columbus Clipper uniform. Back of the card has his stats from the previous year. Another guy who came up in the Yankees minor league system, but would go on to his greatest fame with the St. Louis Cardinals. That's Willie McGee. This card pictures McGee, 1979 West Haven Yankees. That was a low A ball, New York Yankee club, at the very beginning of his professional baseball career, and way before he would become a World Series champion with the Cardinals during the mid 80s. Speedy outfielder, center fielder, excellent defensive player, won a batting title, nice career average, not a power guy, but a great all around player, star from the 80s Cardinals teams. Here we have a 1981 Nashville Sounds. So that was a couple of years later. Willie McGee still in the Yankee system. Nashville was the Double A ball club at that time. And this was put out by Arby's, the fast food burger place, as you could see from the logo on the bottom there. So again, McGee would star as a center fielder for the Cardinals. Next up, we've got another Hall of Famer. This one is Fred McGriff. McGriff came up in the Toronto Blue Jays minor league system and spent his first couple of MLB seasons there. Was a star power hitter, good average, decent defensive first baseman. and would go on to move to San Diego in the big Roberto Alomar trade. And here pictured with the Syracuse Chiefs, which is the Blue Jays AAA team, 1986. He would have two Major League rookie cards from 1986. One Major League rookie card from 1986. I'm sorry, Donruss rated rookie from the same year as this one, but this would, of course, predate that. Next up, we have a 1986 Huntsville Stars minor league team. This was Double-A ball for the Oakland A's. This was at that time third baseman Mark McGwire, who of course would go on to his greatest fame with the Bash Brothers Athletics in the late 80s, and then of course the St. Louis Cardinals during the 90s and early 2000s. Setting the all-time home run record, later broken by Barry Bonds with 70. This one you can see was sponsored by Burger King at the bottom there with their logo, and Huntsville Stars 86, Mark McGwire, the year before he would go up to the Athletics and play with Canseco. Next one we have is a 1989 Pro Cards. This was a Memphis Chicks team issue card. This is Brian McRae. McRae was another guy in the power speed mold, another center fielder. Had a decent major league career, had some pretty good years, had a couple of close to 2020 seasons. This is him in the Memphis Chicks Royals jersey, which was the Royals Double-A ball club at that time. So 1989 Pro Cards, Brian McRae, son of Hal McRae, who was a star outfielder, designated hitter for the Royals during the 1970s. And the last one we're going to look at today is an interesting card, at least the source of where it came from. This is Kevin McReynolds. McReynolds came up in the San Diego Padres minor league system. Would become most noted for his time with the New York Mets 1986 World Series Championship ball club. He was the center fielder there. He was an excellent all-around player. Had hit for a good average, high 280s or so. Had some power, more like 15, 20 homer power. Good run producer, very good center fielder. Didn't excel particularly in any one category, but a great all-around ball player. This card actually came out of a baseball card collector's magazine back in the day called Baseball Hobby News. And this came out in 1983, so this was a card from the magazine that was inserted in there. So he's with the Las Vegas Stars, the AAA ball club of San Diego. This would be the year before he would move up to the Major League Padres and take over center field briefly for them before he was traded to the New York Mets. So Kevin McReynolds, PCL card from Baseball Hobby News. So that's going to wrap up today's episode on the minor league baseball card collection that I've had for many years. I hope you found some interesting cards here. I'm going to continue again with the next episode. We're doing these in alphabetical order, so we're up to the M's right now. We're roughly about halfway through. And I'm saving I've got a nice little group of graded Hall of Fame minor league cards I'm saving for the end, for the last episode, so you definitely don't want to miss that one. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.